so many people are saying we need to stop saying Black Lives Matter and say all lives matter.
Yeah.
And that, even when she first started saying, because she was talking about how other people are saying that and how she has a problem with that. And the reason that she does is because she used a metaphor. She said, pretend we're all sitting at a table and everybody gets a plate of food except Bob. And Bob looks over and goes, well, I'm hungry too. And then Karen goes, well, we're all hungry, Bob. Bob still doesn't get a plate of food while
Right.
she's eating her food, right? Everyone's eating. And she said that's exactly what that means with all lives matter and Black lives matter. So she says, you have Karen saying, well, it's not just Black lives matter, it's all lives matter. And it's like,
Right.
well, yes, but that just because you said all lives matter, that doesn't mean that Black lives don't matter either.
But it goes back to intention.
Right.
It was a direct response to the Black Lives Matter movement.
Right.
So what is the intention?
Finished by saying that don't be mad because you don't have a movement. Be happy because you don't need one.
Once again, we talk about privilege.
Yes.
Part of privilege is the lack of accountability, the lack of awareness. It's not a requirement.
Sure.
And the lack of accountability doesn't mean there's not ego involved. It doesn't mean that there aren't positions that are held. And that's part of like the privilege, right?
Yeah.
Is that you can then think like, oh, Black Lives Matter, why are they focused on Black people? First off, why would you even feel some type of way? Because I've never seen
Exactly.
somebody do a breast cancer walk and showed up and said, all cancers matter. That sounds absurd. Like
Right.
that's not the point.
Totally.
You know?
That's a very good metaphor.
That to me would sound almost absurd, right? 9/11. Well, all buildings matter
Right.
because there's people in all buildings. Why are we focused on those two? It sounds so ridiculous to even frame it that way.
Right.
But when you are coming from a place that doesn't have that accountability, it doesn't matter. You can
Right.
frame it that way and find the sources that are going to say, you're right.
Yeah. And it works in your favor
Right.
to back up what you're trying to say.
Because
Right.
you don't incur the cost when you aren't aware of the alternative perspective.